Hello, Aaron Shiner here, and welcome to another video in the Pro Agent video series. If this is the first video you've watched, can I suggest you go back to the start and watch them from the start up until now. There's going to be plenty of take-home value where you can implement to help you grow your business. Now, if you're tuning back in, well, I'm excited for you because today we're going to be sharing some really unique prospecting systems and my prospecting blueprint. And this is really going to help you close the gap from where you are to where you want to be. Can I say this? If I knew the information that I was about to share with you when I first started in real estate, it would have saved me approximately $60,000 in real estate coaching and about a 5-year shortcut. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to share it with you. Let's get into it now. Now what we're going to look at is one of the most common mistakes in real estate, and that is the appraisal follow-up process. This is the part where rubber hits the road. You can prospect all you want, you can have the world's best listing presentation, but if you don't have these organized and systemized follow-up procedures in the back end, all that work is for nothing. So let me share with you some exact steps that I use in my business to help me follow up the listings. So here's a question for you. Did you know 80% of all listings are made after the 9th to 15th point of contact? But here's a really interesting stat for you. 48% of salespeople give up after that initial point of contact. So they may send the thank you letter, then they might ring up and say, hey, are you ready to list yet? The owner says, oh, we're looking to sell in a month or 2 months' time. And that's where the follow-up and that's where the relationship stops. They have no more follow-up in place and they say, well, we're on to the next deal. Another interesting stat, 25% of salespeople give up after the 3rd point of contact and 12% give up after the 4th point of contact. And here's the thing, it's not because they're bad real estate agents or they're lazy or any of that stuff. It's not my belief. I think it is simply this. We run out of things to say. There's only so many times you can ring a vendor and say, hey, are you ready to list? Hey, are you ready to list? Because that type of follow-up quickly becomes annoying and vendors don't want any part of it. So my recommendation is we've got to have a system in place that prompts us, but more importantly, adds value to your client. So as an example, on the 3rd point of contact, you may want to deliver a flyer on some tips on how they can improve the saleability, or maybe a CMA, or maybe a marketplace report. And on the 4th point of contact, what I like to do is deliver a book called How to Sell Your Home for More. It's a 150-page book, which just gives them a heap of hints and tips on how to generally improve the value of their property. So here's the really interesting thing. Only 10% of salespeople are actually traveling past those first 4 points which we've just referenced. And more importantly, if that's true, that means 10% of salespeople are making 80% of the sales. Now, I don't know how true that is in your marketplace, but let me share with you a strategy on how you are going to stay in contact with your prospecting plan. And let me ask you a question before we begin. Do you have a prospecting plan in place currently, and is it working? And if not, that's okay, because I'm going to share with you my exact prospecting plan and the touch points. And I can tell you this, if I had these systems and I had this strategy when I first started, it would have saved me $60,000 in coaching and 5 years of shortcut. Let me share it with you now. You know, the biggest conception in real estate is it takes time to build contacts. It takes time to build relationships, and real estate's like an apprenticeship. And I just don't think that is true. How about if I could show you a formula that, if implemented correctly, would shortcut that time from you becoming a secret agent in your marketplace, a proactive agent in your marketplace, to a reactive agent. And what I mean by that is proactive is where you're making the phone calls, you're going to them, to being a reactive agent where clients and future sellers are coming to you. I want to share with you the formula now. 0 to 9 points of contact. Your clients do not know that you exist. Your database don't know you exist. Your farm area don't know you exist. And I find it interesting. People come up to me when we're doing coaching sessions or when we're working with an office one-on-one, and they say, Aaron, I've got a big database. I say, tell me about it. They say, we've got 1,000 or 2,000 contacts in there. I say, that's great. How many times a year are you communicating with these people? They say, on average, 3 to 4 times a year. Well, that would fit into that category, 0 to 9. People just do not know that you exist. You're just one of many agents in the marketplace. The next category is a lot better to be in, and that's 9 to 15. They remember who you are and what you do. So they know that you're a real estate agent and they know what area you work in. You may not be top of mind, but you are on the radar, okay? But the best place to be in, and that is the last spot. That is those 18 to 24 points of contact That's when you become a household name. And for me, nobody showed me that. It was only after I was prospecting out of my database and I was being really proactive, after I got to those 18 points, all of a sudden, my business turned reactive and clients started coming to me. Now, I can hear you sitting there saying, well, how do you make 18 to 24 points in a 12-month period? What are some of the things that you do? Again, just start with the end in mind. What are you there for? The answer is simple. You are there to add massive value. So as long as all your points of contact, your 18 to 24 points of contact is a give mentality, is going to increase the value of the transaction, then they are going to look forward to hearing from you. Again, I don't just pick up the phone and make 18 to 24 phone calls. I break it up over a couple of different medians. The first one is phone call. The next one is getting face-to-face. I also send out a lot of text messages. I also send out emails, and I also send out picture messages. I like to break it up, and also letters. So I like to break it up across a heap of different medians, and I always want to be adding something of value. So there you have it. You get to choose your own adventure. Do you want to be the secret agent in those 0 to 9 points? Do you want to be sort of on the radar but not quite there yet? Well, then do 9 to 15 points. If you want to be the agent of choice, you want to be the attraction agent, you want to be the reactive agent, you figure out how you're going to do 18 to 24 points of contact in a 12-month period. You add value to the transaction and you do it in a cool way. You can't not get listings. So there we have it. Probably one of the most important things in real estate that typically not many people know about. 0 to 9, 9 to 15, 18 to 24. So I've really enjoyed making this video for you, and hopefully you've got some value out of it. More importantly, now what I'd love for you to do, download the course notes below and start implementing it, because that's going to make the biggest difference in your career, and it's going to take your real estate career from where you are to where you want to be. Again, keep an eye out in the coming weeks for the next video in the Pro Agent video series. I've really enjoyed making this video for you. My name's Aaron Shiner. List and sell. I'll speak to you shortly. Bye for now.